Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia and this is the Frontline Changes report for the past 24 hours for the day of 1234, which is 1234 for the 11th of July. So we're gonna jump straight into the first one over the Sumi Front at Myrophilia. So over at this is Sumi Front, by the way. This is Sumy. We are going to this area here, where Myrophilia is. We have one tiny frontline change, very tiny. I have to zoom in so much before you can see it. Basically, the Russian forces have positions inside this house. So just a slight change. At most, it's less than 100 meters, like 50 meters kind of thing. So very small one. So that's the frontline change here. After this frontline change, this tiny one, the next frontline change, we jump to the Dvorichna front. So over in Dvorichna, this is Dvorichna is over here, just north of Kupiansk. So Kupiansk is here, Dvorichna, but in the northern flank, we have the Russian incursion of Milove, which is here. We have a new geolocation. So Milove is here. Russian forces geolocated along this tree line towards the direction of Khatne, and this confirms the Russians' advance of the forest, which was previously mapped by the Ukrainian mappings to be the case, that the Russians have advanced around here. So they are moving in this direction to the northern flank of Khatne. So if I zoom in, you probably can see a bit clearer what is it like. So geolocation here clearly shows that the Russian forces have fully taken the forest in this sector. Then they have probably overcome the forest line before that and then go to the next forest line. So the advance is around 1.5 to 1.6, around 1.6 up to 2 kilometers deep into Ukrainian territory. So this is a pretty long distance, but like I say, no, this front line here is very difficult to fight, so the Russians have to take it slowly. There's no other way. According to the update, it said that they were attacked by a Ukrainian armored vehicle. So definitely the Ukrainians have reacted to this incursion into the Ukrainian territory with a strong force. So that's the frontline change in this sector. After Khatne, 2.96 square kilometers captured, the next frontline change is over at Novokhatske. So Novokhatske is over in the Pokrovsk front. So this is Pokrovsk, this is Myrne, and over here in the north of Kharkiv, just off Novokhatske to the west. Geolocation Russian forces along this junction of a tree line confirms the Russians advance along this area here. This area looks super open, so this is just an extension of the front line in this way with a foothold along this forest junction in this area here. So this is just around a kilometer at most advance. On its own, it doesn't really mean much, but if you zoom out, you probably can see a bit more on the strategic situation. Popivia is here, by the way. You probably can't see, it's blocked. Kharkiv, Shevchenko, Pershi, Novokhatske. So the Russians have advanced northward in this sector. Maybe I zoom out even further, you probably can see Myrne is here, and then the advance is up north. So in that direction, not exactly where we believe the main push is. So after Novokhatske, the next frontline change is over at Tolstoy or Tolstoy. So over at Tolstoy, this is over at the Komar front. Komar is over here. So there's two frontline change in this sector. In the northern one north of Tolstoy, the Russian forces geolocated on the western part of Novokhatske, or Novokhatske, and so the Russian forces, including this area here, this one is the Ukrainian mapping of Russian advance, and then we have this geolocation confirmed the Russians have continued their advance up north in this manner. The advance is pretty deep, is around 2.6 2.7 kilometers. This kind of advance clearly just means that the Ukrainians have abandoned defending this position. So the Ukrainian has abandoned the positions around here, which likely means that they also probably have abandoned Novokhatske, which means that we're probably going to see the capture of Novokhatske within the next 24 hours. So far, such analysis have been pretty accurate, because the advance is a bit too fast. Over 20 in a scale of 24 hours. This happened for Tolstoy, this happened for Pidopny, and it also happened is going to happen for Myrne as well. So all these places are just abandoned by the Ukrainian side. So that's it. Over in this Myrne region, we have the Ukrainian mapping closing the impossible salients over at Peribudova. So there's still a little bit left. This is due to gray zone in their mapping because they have not acknowledged the Russian presence on this area here, despite it was confirmed by geolocation. So Russian forces confirmed to have closed down most of these areas around Peribudova, as well as the open grounds between the two rivers, and then to Myrne. So the Russian forces, after stabbing into Myrne, also known as Kalamaksa, have expanded the zone of control within the settlement on the verge of full capture of the small little town around here. So we're gonna expect this town also to be announced captured within the next 24-48 hours as well. So the advance in this river area is around 1.2 1.3 kilometers. Around Myrne is probably around 200 to 500 meters. So let's see how this goes. And then after this, there's one last frontline change is over at the Zaporizhzhia front. So this is Zaporizhzhia at the Kanyamsk sector. There is a frontline change over at Kanyamsk. So this is Kanyamsk, and that over in this salient in the southern bank of the river, Russian forces have advanced a bit along this salient as the Ukrainians continue to hold defense in this area here, defending the bridge. This is the bridge here, and they are trying to hold and prevent the fall of the whole of Kanyamsk. So that's the main change here. The advance is only 300 meters, so very slow, probably very strong advance, despite the Russian source Ryba did claim the capture of Kanyamsk, which I personally think they overreacted. I don't think this is accurate at all. I think they just jumped the gun. So this is the frontline change over the past 24 hours. So let's do some calculation. So let's use Kanyamsk as the background. So let me drop the black box. So the advance the Ukrainians did not capture any grounds, so it's 0. The Russians captured 0.98 plus 2.96 plus 1.29 plus 6.27 plus 0.19. Total area captured is 11.69 square kilometers. So a little back down to the 10 square kilometer range. So it could mean any sort of possibilities, lack of intel to reflect the Russian advance. It could also mean that the Russians just simply slowing down, or it could be simply the Ukrainians have sent more men to the front and try to defend the front line. So it could be any circumstances. We'll have to continue to monitor the general picture and see how these go. There are some other rumors regarding Ukraine, like I think from Switzerland, or is it Austria? Maybe Switzerland in German or something. So I think Switzerland, some analysts or think tank or whatnot. I didn't read it. I just saw the headline saying that the Ukrainians may consider retreating all the way to the western bank of the Dnieper River because of the way how the war is going to save their troops, which I don't exactly think that would be the case, because that would be shocking if they ever do so, because Ukraine is a huge place. This even if we really want to do attrition, it can still last for a long time. So not sure how this goes. So a lot of rumors around. We have to monitor the situation to kind of understand what is happening around this time, and to cause the momentum to kind of slow down a bit for the Russian side. But it's still pretty fast. It's still 10 square kilometers at minimum. So let's see how this goes. Thank you for watching. Happy birthday to you if your birthday today. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys in the next update.